Hi everybody, Rudy from HBB Pro Sales Group here to do a short video demonstrating how the different methods of hooking up a vacuum pump to your equipment affects performance and the amount of time spent to adequately degas and dehydrate the system. The first part is to show the two micron gauges we're using here are reading very closely. Here they are within about 5 microns of each other. The next segment demonstrates the effect of pulling a micron gauge through a manifold gauge set. The micron gauge on the left is directly hooked up to the fitting on the pump. The one on the right is run through a gauge set. You'll see a 3/8 inch hose directly attached to the top of the pump fitting, run through the center port on the gauge and then through the high side of the gauge set. The gauge on the right is attached to the end of the high side of the hose. Note there's a 415 micron difference between the potential performance of the pump and the level of vacuum actually delivered to the service valve of the equipment. Here's another common practice, just pulling a vacuum through a 1/4 inch charging hose. That hose is then run just simply to the micron gauge on the right. This results in a 395 micron loss just through the hose itself. The second to the last scenario you'll see is using a 1/2 inch diameter hose. You'll see here the micron gauge on the left is attached to a valve core tool on the right on top of the pump. The 3/8 inch fitting on the top of the connector is hooked to the 1/2 inch diameter hose, then run to the micron gauge on the right hand side. The results are much better, but still there's a 110 micron loss through that 1/2 inch hose. Finally, we will do exactly the same hookup with the 3/4 inch diameter TruBlu hose. Since the fittings can be changed out to match the fittings on the vacuum pump, a 3/8 inch fitting was attached to the fitting on the top of the pump, and a 1/4 inch fitting was attached to the micron gauge you see on the right. As you can see, the micron gauge on the left was attached just like it was for the 1/2 inch hose. There's a 5 micron difference between these readings. However, given there was a 5 micron difference between the gauges when directly compared at the beginning, I'm going to estimate around 10 microns of difference here. The substantially lower loss of vacuum using the TruBlu hoses can be attributed to several factors. The 3/4 inch diameter makes the conductance speed 90 times faster than a 1/4 inch hose and 5 or 6 times faster than the 1/2 inch hose. The ultimate vacuum using the 3/4 inch diameter hose being about 100 microns lower than the 1/2 inch hose and a couple hundred microns lower than the 1/4 inch hose, even when not running through a gauge set. Of course, shortening the hose length adds to the speed of the TruBlu hoses, but generally a 39 inch hose is plenty to hook up to a system. If not, additional hoses can be added to make the connection, increasing the flexibility of the AccuTools setup. Seeing is believing. Try this on your own setup and see what you find. Also, for more information on the science of evacuation, go to AccuTools.com and stay tuned for more to come. Thanks for your time.